Hello, listeners. A very warm welcome to Divine Invocation Tarot. So, today we're gonna check out the messages for you. Let's see what we got. Keep in mind that these are general readings that may or may not resonate with you. But when I talk about these deck of cards, these are very special cards because they are relating to gods and goddesses. So, I sense every card has a divine message and every message could be for everybody. What I mean to say is, it's up to our perceptions, level of perception that we gain. We can understand what message meant what. And keep in mind that these are timeless readings, so this would mean any message given right now could be from your past or may apply to you in the future. So, last shuffle before we pick up five cards today. Okay. Let's see what we got. All right, so we have Agni, the god of fire. I'll show you the card. And then we have Nityanand Prabhu, the deliverer of the most fallen. And then we have Sri Radha, the supreme goddess. And then we have Sita Devi, the queen of chastity. And the last one, Jagannath, who is the lord of the universe. Now, let me go ahead and quickly say what these cards could symbolize. Agni, the lord of fire. A situation like anything which is upsetting could be rage, anger, frustration, which is building up inside a person. That could be you, that could be anybody around you, it could be a lover. And then the next phase could be developing something which is vairagya. Vairagya means a state of seclusion. You want to be alone, you want to be with yourself. You start to gain something which is the human aspect of relationships, trying to understand things from a better standpoint, going into your own shell, and mostly spending time with yourself or relating yourself with God. The next phase is Sri Radha, believing. Once you are secluded, you start to develop another form or dimension of love. The dimension of love is very different when you talk about this goddess. Ability to win the hearts of one's beloved. The love is very different when you are in a zone of, you can say, a hermit mode, in which you redevelop, redefine yourself and your relationships. And when you keep on moving towards that situation, you develop more and more purity. You develop chastity like Sita Devi. So you become more faithful. You understand the level of devotion which is required to maintain relationships is something which you have to achieve, which you easily can. You just have to worship the divinity inside you. That's what the message is from Sita Devi. And the final card is Lord Jagannath, which is the giver of power, the worldly power, the materialistic power. Talk about devotion in any aspect, winning your love, breaking free from the cycle of death and birth. So I can see a very nice storyboard coming up here. There are times when we have lost faith in ourselves because of our inner destructive rage, and then we start to, uh, you know, fall apart. We try to rebuild ourselves, no idea where we're going. Then we suddenly go into our own shell, develop love for God, and then with that great devotion, a very nice release of energy from within ourselves, that is, redefining your own spirit into the higher realm of God. And that's what is Sri Radha. And then, like I said, the relationships and bonds getting stronger because of your will to make it last forever. And that's when people will respect you for who you are. Please do keep in mind, people won't respect you for who you are until you respect yourself for who you are, right? And then you get the ultimate power to sustain a proper life within yourself, all right? Now, going back to the mantra, I'll read out the mantra for you. That is Agne Naya Supatha Rayasman Vishwani Deva Vayunani Vidvan Yuyodhaya Smaj Juhur Anameno Bhuyi Sakam Te Nata Yuktim Vidhema. So I have not learned Sanskrit, but I'll just translate that for you. It's reference to the fire, the omniscient Lord, praying to Him to cast out from us all debasing and sinful desires and habits, lead us to the path of righteousness. Help us in attaining the true knowledge of worldly riches. For this we offer unto you the profound obeisance and praise. So when we pay respect to Lord Agni, the blessings that we will get is anything in terms of improving our digestive fire, all right, gaining true knowledge of how to gain the worldly riches, acquisition of inner power through yoga, freedom from debasing desires and habits. So you can see this fire is a very symbolic meaning. It has a symbolic meaning because everything that we are doing, one of the elements that we are born from is fire. So fire, if is not controlled, it can lead to distraction, rage, lust, sinful desires, going after materialistic pleasures may lead to a lot of dissatisfaction in our respective lives. But when we pay reverence and respect to Lord Agni, what we do is we worship through this mantra and we submit ourselves to this fire within us, which is actually a flame of our inner soul, which connects us to this divine element. So the benefits will be immense from Lord Agni. That's the blessings that you will receive. And the next phase is about Nityanand Prabhu. Let me read out the mantra for you. Nityanandam aham vande karunamaya vigraham harinama padam devam avadhuta shiromanim. So this is offering salutations to Nityanand Prabhu, who is the embodiment of compassion, who appeared at the topmost renunciate in order to distribute the holy names of God to all. So he is one of the most important propagators, you can say, who talked about the holy names of God. He had immense faith and love in God and empathy for humankind. So, compassion, charity, perfection in chanting the God's name are the baselines, or you can say, in a better way, blessings that you will receive. You will start to feel more connected with yourself when you relate to Nityanand Prabhu. So, that's the divine message from him. Moving on to the next, which is Sri Radha. Let me read out the mantra. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriya. So this is basically paying respect to Radha, who is the queen of Vrindavan, daughter of Vrishabhanu and beloved of Krishna. I offer my salutations to you, Radha. So when we offer our salutations to Radha, we get divine blessings. We get more faith and power in love. Remember, one of the most important motivations in our life is love. And if love is somebody who is left or we are waiting for, Radha is the person that you can remember because she symbolizes purity and she is the bestower of faith in the power of love. Every form of love is divine, but love, just as a form of attraction, is something not, that we are not talking about here. We are referring to the feeling of love. So, Sri Radha's blessings is bestowed upon us and the listeners, all the listeners. Understand the simple fact that Love is the power which we need, or the motivation which we already possess within us, which is, giving us the ability to get our desired love. All right. So, divine love is something which is what you will start moving towards sooner or later. It is possibly because of the heartbreaks that you've had, or you've been waiting for too long to get somebody or find someone. Understand the simple fact that it is a question of timing, of course, because we always get frustrated when we do a lot of prayers, meditation, chanting, kirtan, everything just to attain love. It's a way to attain love through offering praises to God. Now, what happens is in the process of transfiguring the energy of devotion to God, many times there are conflicts which happens in the mind which starts to take control of us. And that's when we lose faith in God, we lose faith in love. Understand the fact that she is there for you and she is within you in your purest form. She exists within you and she is motivating you to have faith in love. Because if you have faith, your love will be stronger. And when your love is stronger, your love becomes most divine. And when you keep moving in the path of divinity, you achieve the chastity like Sita Devi. Allow me to read out the mantra for you. Udbhava Sthita Samhara Karinim Klesha Harinim Sarva Shreyakarim Sitam Natoham Rama Vallabham. So this is basically offering respect, reverence to Lord Rama, who is the beloved of Sita, the source of world's creation, maintenance and destruction, the remover of all miseries and the bringer of all auspicious events. Now, when we attain a state of mind when we are able to connect to the divinity of Sita Devi, we will get blessings in the form of fidelity in love, devotion to the truth, penance and tolerance, and also the power to improve upon oneself. Self discovery, self improvement is one of the most important elements which shapes up our future. The way we deal with people, the way we deal with relationships, most of these aspects clearly and simply deals with how we deal with ourselves. So understand the fact that when you are talking to somebody, you are actually talking to yourself. How would you do that? You would try to connect with yourself in a better way. So when you learn to connect with yourself in a better way, you are by itself connecting with the other person in a better way. So understand this fact that this divinity is already present in you. Now, the difference was previously your inner fire, which could be anything, which could be lust, rage, anger, intolerance, anything which is not on the right track. You are gaining blessings from Lord Agni, and then you start to uh, get into the moment in time when you are secluded and moving towards God, and then you develop something which is pure and divine form of love. And when you do that, this is what you attain. You get purity and you get the ability to tolerate anything which is incorrect. You get so much balance in life through this blessing from Sita Devi that you would not imagine. So understand the simple fact that all is within you. These gods, these messages are within you. It is basic. It is just a situation how you interpret it. So the movement of consciousness for you as a person starts from anything which is a negative fire, then you gain the blessings from Lord Agni, then you create that devotion like Nityanand Prabhu, and then you actually develop a divine form of love through Sri Radha's blessing, and this is what you achieve. And then that's not the end of it. The end of it is this. This is Lord Jagannath's blessing. This is Lord Jagannath himself showering his divine blessings over to you. Allow me to read out the mantra. Deva Deva Jagannatha Prapanarti Vinashana Trahimam Pundarikaksha. Patitam Bhava Sagari. So this is paying respect to Jagannath, God of gods, Lord of the universe, destroyer of ill, and those who have taken refuge in you. You are the master, O lotus eyed one. Please save me from the ocean of material existence into which I have fallen. So understand the fact that when we are into the energy of, you know, going after materialistic pleasure or pleasure of, senses, what happens is we lose track of ourselves. So in the process of evolving as a soul, we start to develop love for God and spread the word, and then we receive the blessings to create more divinity in the form of divine love. When we get our lost love back, or we get a newfound love, or we understand the value of creating the right seed of love within our minds and heart, and then we develop that chastity, that purity, that inner essence of our spirit which will rise, and that will help us to create the power to understand the devotion to Krishna, worldly power. We will be able to gain worldly power in a positive way, of course. Freedom from the cycle of birth and death, and then perfection of the arts in the service of God. So I do see all the five gods represents a evolutionary process of a soul, and what happens is in the process of evolving, we lose track of ourselves. But if we pay reverence and respect and worship to these particular gods, each particular god is representing a stage in our lives in a negative or a positive way. So how we deal with it is up to subject to our own interpretations. So we will come back again later on. And thank you so much for listening. I wish you all the very best. And please like, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for being here. God bless you all.